Hello, welcome to RT Issues, a show where we take a look at an issue in the news, we get students' reactions, and our panel of student journalists discuss the matter. In this week's show, we take a look at the return of brick-and-mortar Toys R Us stores in the upcoming year. I'm Grant Baker, and this week's show is brought to you by
The Main Cup, local flavor that perks.
But first, let's go to Morgan Vander with a wrap-up of what happened last week in national news.
In news, on Wednesday, December 1st, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and California health authorities detected the first case of the Omicron strain of the COVID-19 in the United States. The subject, who had recently traveled back to California from South Africa, the country that first detected the new variant, and was fully vaccinated in the past 6 months, is experiencing mild symptoms that are improving and is self-quarantining. The subject's close contacts have been contacted and tested negative. On Tuesday, November 13th, 15-year-old Ethan Crumbley shot 11 people and killed 4 students in his school, Oxford High School in Michigan. Crumbley posted about the weapon and target on social media before the shooting occurred, and police seized his journal that contained his plans to bring the weapon to school to murder his classmates. Crumbley is being charged as an adult with 1 count of terrorism causing death, 4 counts of first-degree murder, 7 counts of assault with intent to murder, and 12 counts of possession of firearm during the commission of a felony. President Biden announced a COVID-19 travel plan that imposes new travel rules in spite of the emergence of the Omicron variant of the virus. Air travelers to the U.S. will now have to test negative for the virus within 1 day of their flight, rather than within 3 days. In a speech at the National Institutes of Health, Biden said, quote, "We don't yet believe that additional measures will be needed," unquote. Now let's go to Jack Schmiel with a wrap-up of what's been happening in entertainment news.
Thanks, Morgan. In the world of entertainment, culture, and celebrity, Virgil Abloh, the artistic director of Louis Vuitton and founder of Off-White, has died after a 2-year battle with a rare form of cancer, cardiac angiosarcoma, at the age of 41. Abloh also served as the art director on many of Kanye West's albums and the creative director on his most recent release, Donda. Shawn Mendes released a song titled It'll Be Okay, following his breakup with Camila Cabello. This song arrives just 2 weeks after their relationship ended. It reflects his breakup through these lyrics, quote, "Are we gonna make it?" and "Is this gonna hurt?" unquote. Spotify pushed its yearly Spotify Wrapped celebration on December 1st. It collects and presents listeners' top songs, artists, podcasts, and playlists from the year. The most streamed artists globally include number 1, Bad Bunny, number 2, Taylor Swift, 3, BTS, 4, Drake, and 5, Justin Bieber. The top song was Driver's License by Olivia Rodrigo with more than 1 billion views. Now to Luke McClister with our sports news.
Thanks, Jack. In the world of sports, the Major League Baseball Players Association announced a lockout of players, calling it a, quote, drastic measure, unquote. This happened as the MLB's contract to conduct business expired this past Wednesday, December 1st. Commissioner Rob Manfred sent a message to fans saying, quote, "We believe that an off-season lockout is the best mechanism to protect the 2022 season. We hope that the lockout will jumpstart negotiations and get us to an agreement that will allow the season to start on time," unquote. In a statement made on Wednesday, December 1st, WTA Chairman Steve Simon announced a suspension of all tournaments held in China, including Hong Kong. This suspension follows the silencing of Chinese tennis star Peng Shuai after she made allegations against former Vice Premier Zhang Gaoloi of sexual assault. Peng was quickly silenced by blanket censorship in China after the allegation was made, though a number of, quote, proof of life, unquote, videos have been released by the Chinese government. This move could lose the WTA hundreds of millions of dollars of potential revenue from the Chinese market. A total of 23 college football teams changed up their coaching staff, 10 of which include changes in the Power 5. Big schools including Oklahoma, USC, LSU, and Notre Dame. Coach Lincoln Riley left Oklahoma to take the USC job on Sunday. One day later, Notre Dame coach Brian Kelly left to take the LSU job. Now to RT issues and our panel discussion.
After closing all brick-and-mortar businesses in 2017 and switching to an online-only business, Toys R Us has announced it will be returning to 400 Macy stores in 2022. Roundtable reporter Ava Perez shares with us the company's plan on returning and how Middletown High School students feel about the comeback of the toy brand.
Toys R Us, which closed all of its stores following its 2017 bankruptcy, is making a comeback. The Big Lots currently is taking place to former Toys R Us. Let's see how others are reacting to the comeback.
Has all the details. Rebecca, good morning.
Hey, Mary, good morning. Yeah, that's right. 2 years after that bankruptcy, Toys R Us is working on its comeback story. It has the same name we all feel that nostalgia for, but visit the store and you'll get a whole new experience.
3, 2, 1. I feel amazing because that was just like one of the best stores you'd go to as a kid, so I'm glad it's opening.
I'm actually like really excited about it coming back because it was like a huge part of my childhood and I love going to Toys R Us.
It's exciting. I like love shopping at Toys R Us as a kid. So like, I don't know, being able to go back there as a teenager and just like mess around would be kind of fun.
I was actually really surprised at first that they were coming back because I was like, didn't they run out of like money or something? But I mean, good for them. So.
Okay. Super excited that Toys R Us is coming back. You know, I'm super excited to be walking through the Toys R Us stores again with, you know, siblings, family, you know, epic.
Students shared what they like to buy from Toys R Us.
Legos. Definitely Halloween costumes and just like random decorations.
I bought Minecraft once.
Toys. That's pretty much it. Nothing in specific.
I don't know, like Shopkins, Barbies.
We asked MHS students if they would ever go back to Toys R Us.
As soon as it opens. Yeah. When would I ever go back? Literally any time, whenever I'm bored, like me and my friends can just go there and like get toys.
As soon as it comes out, because I want my little brother to experience the same thing I experienced when I was a kid going there.
I don't know. Probably to buy a toy for somebody else, and then I'd probably go with somebody else and just like.
Probably with my nephew because he is 5, and that's pretty much it.
Let's see how others think of the prices.
I feel like it was like in the middle. Depends what you buy.
It was pretty cheap. I mean, nothing was really like sky high, so.
I mean, I probably didn't really do a lot of the buying there. I think it was my mom who paid for most of it, so.
Expensive.
I mean, I don't remember looking at the prices at Toys R Us because last time I went there I was like 9. So, I mean, I would still buy toys in there.
MHS students gives their opinions about how they would rate Toys R Us.
Probably like a 6 or a 7.
I'd say about a 9.
A 5. Not too bad, but like not good either. So.
Toys R Us is definitely a 10.
Okay. 10.
RT Issues producer Aaron Smith sat down with a panel of student journalists, including Lydia Vandry, Jack Schmiel, and Rhea Brown to discuss the topic.
Toys R Us has announced that it will be coming back to 400 Macy's stores in 2022. The brand is currently operating as an online-only business after closing all of its store locations in 2018. How did you feel when Toys R Us went out of business?
I initially felt a little bit sad because I feel like that store for me has always been nostalgic. I always remember going there when I was younger and looking through for all the toys. So I think it kind of shocked me because I guess when I was younger I never realized that they were struggling and that they would ever go out of business. But looking back on it now, I feel like it makes a lot more sense.
Online shopping had also become very prominent, so that was a way that I purchased things I needed that I would get from Toys R Us.
Personally, I think that it was kind of disappointing because it would be fun going into the store and seeing a whole bunch of cool things.
Alright. So recently the toy company has partnered with Macy's to bring back some of its brick and mortar shopping. How do you feel is the most profitable way to sell toys?
I do feel like online shopping is the most profitable way for companies to sell toys because it's so convenient for customers to purchase the toys because rather than having to actually go into the store, you can literally just do it from your computer or your phone.
I feel similarly, except for I feel like it is sometimes helpful to be able to look in person in stores. But I think when it comes to toys specifically, I think toys is one thing that is more beneficial to do online. I think when you're looking in terms of just shopping in general, I think it is good to be able to go in person and online. So I think having both is a good option.
I think that it would be better to go into the store because like seeing what you're gonna buy and like knowing that's what your product you're gonna purchase, like it's important to know that that's what you want for sure.
So do you guys feel that Toys R Us's comeback will be successful from a business standpoint, and then why or why not?
I think it will because of the fact that it's going to be online as well. So they're going into Macy's stores in person, but also they're doing the online version as well. So you have the option for both. So if one of them starts to be unsuccessful, like going in person is unsuccessful, you always have the online backup option.
It's just the kids now who are going to be getting toys don't really have, like, Toys R Us went out of business 4 years ago, so they're not really going to have the experience of Toys R Us. It's going to make them want to go back there.
In recent years, a rise in online shopping has occurred with the increase in popular brands such as Amazon. In 2020, Amazon reported a net income of $21.33 billion. With the increase in online shopping, how do you think online business has affected brick-and-mortar shopping?
I definitely think that brick-and-mortar shopping has definitely decreased with the rise of online shopping. Just like I said earlier, from a convenience standpoint.
Do you feel like that there is a part of our population that will always just enjoy going into stores? And I think that has a lot to do with being able to experience the products like one-on-one there. You don't have the surprise of it, like what are you gonna buy if you're not sure if you're online or not. And then you also have the experience. One thing with shopping that I think the real reason most people go is the experience of being with people. And I feel like it's more of an experience than actually to buy goods at this point.
I agree with Lydia and how she's saying that there's going to be some part of the world that some people actually want to go back into stores, and so it's not fully going to go all into online shopping. So
I do think there's also a large part of the population, mostly older people, who don't understand technology as well, and they're more confused with online shopping. That I think brick and mortar businesses don't always have that part of the population.
There are people who are always going to want to go to stores in person rather than shopping online. So I do think that a lot of businesses are still going to have a lot of success.
Finally, in our RT Plus segment, RT producer Katie Lucas asked Middletown High School students about their favorite childhood toys.
With the holiday season and all the gifts it brings just around the corner, Middletown High School and staff shares the most prominent toys in their childhood.
My favorite toy was American Girl dolls because you could have one that looked like you.
My favorite toy was an American Girl doll.
It was probably Mr. Potato Head because like there's so many little different pieces you could put on it each time, and sometimes I could get like new ones to put on.
My favorite toy was the Littlest Pet Shops.
My favorite toy had to be my pink Barbie house. It was a lot of fun.
Like the Barbie and Ken dolls, I'd play with those all the time.
Definitely like my Barbie Life in the Dream house set.
My favorite toy when I was a kid was probably the Lego Friends. I got one every single year for Christmas, and I built them in like 2 days.
I think when it comes down to it, my favorite toy when I was little was one of those bags of wooden blocks, mostly because my brother and I would use the blocks to build things to play with other toys. So it was probably my most used toy, and I have a lot of fond memories of them.
I had a teddy bear that I was obsessed with when I was younger.
My favorite was a Monster High doll.
My favorite toys as a kid were like Monster High dolls because one, the outfits were absolutely adorable, and they kind of got me into like the fashion that I wear today. And they encouraged a lot of diversity, which I really liked as a kid.
Legos
I like my Lego sets that I would get.
Legos.
My favorite toy are Legos.
My favorite toy as a kid was Legos.
Probably this kitchen that I had, because I could have got like a bunch of stuff for it for Christmas, and I didn't just get bored of it with one use.
I liked the My Little Pony Ponyville toys.
My favorite toy was Light Bright.
My dollhouse, because you could play with any toys in it.
It's the trash pack, because you could have like so many of them, and I could just make like a lot of stories using like all these different like squishy people. It was just really fun.
My favorite toy was Zuzu Pets.
Zuzu Pets, because you can make like a bunch of different tracks for them to go on. Lincoln Logs, because they were fun to put together.
Before we go, let's talk to PJ Leonard about his new podcast, Tier List. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that, PJ?
Well, Grant, the podcast is hosted by me and you, Grant Baker. We list various foods and drinks on it, and we just have a good time debating what food should go in the higher tier list and what food should go in the lower tier list. It's pretty funny, and I think you should give it a listen.
Sounds very interesting. Where can we listen to this podcast, though?
Well, you can find the podcast on mhsroundtable.com under podcasts.
Nice. All right. So be sure to tune in next Friday to watch. That's it for this episode of RT Magazine, part of the Roundtable's multimedia experience. Thanks for watching. You can find all of our episodes on mhsroundtable.com, or you can download our app, Student News Source, for access to our articles, videos, and podcasts. Have a great week.